This year, Trinidad and Tobago played host to the King of Hearts and a Queen. The 5th Summit of the Americas and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting being held in this country put us in the history books in more ways than one. April 17th to 19th saw the arrival of some of the most powerful leaders in the Western Hemisphere as this country hosted for the first time ever the 5th Summit of the Americas. These leaders included Venezuela's Hugo Chavez and Bolivia's Evo Morales. Renowned band leader Brian McFarlane also wowed the world with his opening ceremony shows at both the openings of the summit and of CHOGM. But more than that, history was created when U.S. President Barack Obama, the man who stole the world's heart by becoming the first black president of America, landed on TNT's shores to take part in the Summit of the Americas.
And I repeat today that I'm prepared to have my administration engage with the Cuban government on a wide range of issues, from drugs, migration, and economic issues, to human rights, free speech, and democratic reform.
And I want to thank the people of Trinidad and Tobago for their wonderful hospitality and their gracious welcome. I want to thank Prime Minister Manning and First Lady Manning, his government, for the hospitality they've shown me and our entire delegation.
Government began from as early as January to prepare the country for the event, which included a dramatic security lockdown of the summit area, the paving of highways, the construction of a new wing at the Piarco Airport for private jets, and construction of the berm, dubbed the Wall of Shame, around the depressed Beetham area, as well as vagrant removal from the capital city. The politicians, civilians and economists demanded to be told the cost. And as much as the summit heralded a new era of democracy, the protesters outside of it, like the trade unions and social activists, had a taste of state security when they attempted to peacefully protest the event. Who can forget the historic showdown between riot police and activists who took part in the Drum-It to the Summit in St. James?
The riot police asked me, and they were sort of coaxing me to say that the event is not under control. But clearly, things are under control. However, the people choose to be here under their own volition. They've chosen to be here under their own right.
At the end of the summit, however, the relevance was further questioned when it was revealed that only Prime Minister Patrick Manning had signed the declaration. But there was more to come. In November, a repeat of the same scenario in many ways, as this time the country hosted the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. And of course, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II formally opened the conference.
But while the Commonwealth may rightly celebrate reaching its 60th anniversary, the future of this association lies with the 1 billion who are under 25 years of age. The Commonwealth must show that it is relevant to and supportive of our young people, who need to be convinced that the Commonwealth can help them to realize their ambitions.
Government played coy with the figures for the Summit of the Americas for a long time, until a Freedom of Information Act request and questions from the opposition in Parliament revealed that the ruling PNM spent close to $1 billion on the summit. The big question at the end of the day on citizens' minds was, to what end?
But we spent $1 billion on chewing gum and the Summit of the Americas. Purely prestigious projects to show that we are players in the world field.
We got a paved Edward Street.
Each time this was done this year, the reality benders say, oh, this has nothing to do with this summit.
Yeah,
this has nothing
We
to
just
do with
cleaning up and paving.
This is an ongoing exercise.
This is an ongoing exercise.
And it stopped. It stopped. That is what I find is insulting. You wait until 3 weeks before, and then you start paving like mad. You divert traffic, you cause traffic jam, and you start painting up, and you just run down the Edward Street or whatever street, and then you say that it's not. You know that exactly that they expect anybody to believe, and that's why nobody will take this government seriously. When you have people like Imbert and all those people coming and talking that rubbish.
But you see, our self-esteem is so low, and we move so little away from colonial ideas and old-fashioned ideas, that we make the country nice for the foreign visitors. and it doesn't matter what.
We now have
what
a private
happens.
jet terminal. I don't know if you know how many citizens have a private jet.